It happens.
They never go away.
It happens every time. 30 seconds before we sign on, it always happens. And it's a close call.
Live from Bucks Arena, it's Conference Championship Sunday. The first game, the Reefers against the Tall Boys. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to D-League Radio and D-League Radio TV. I'm John Reichert, the host of D-League Radio, and I am joined today by this handsome fellow. It's Pete Van Helling of the Vicious Squirrels. Pete, we are here to call the 12:45 game, the number 1 seeded Reefers against the upstart number 5 seed Tall Boys in a matchup that proves to be pretty entertaining.
This should be a really entertaining game. These two teams have met twice this year. A couple of hard-fought battles. One game was decided by 1 goal, and I should say upstart. That is, in fact, what the Tall Boys are. I would venture to say that the Tall Boys pulled off the biggest upset of the season last week in defeating the defending champion Squirrels 4-2. They jumped out to a 4-0 lead and held on by the skin of their teeth for a. No, actually, it was.
Was that what we're going to go with?
No, no. We have to give the Tall Boys credit where credit is due. They came out and played a really great game. They deserve to be here in the semifinals, but they've got a big mountain to climb today in taking on the regular season champions in the Reefers.
The Reefers are going to be without Torrin Erickson today, their leading scorer this year with 17 goals. He just can't make it today, but Tim Young is second on the team with 11 as a defenseman, pretty good. And Joe Roberto with 10 goals on the year. Again, as Reefers teams have had in the past, a lot of secondary scoring. They don't just rely on the big gun. How is that going to play into their favor today?
Well, you know, I was doing my homework before the game, as I always do, and I looked at their scoring, and it is balanced. But Torrin Erickson, easily the comeback player of the year.
Without a doubt,
he had a broken leg last year, sat out the entire season after the first game or two, comes back this year, their leading goal getter. Let's not forget that in last week's victory for the Reefers, Torrin Erickson scored 3 out of the Reefers' 4 goals.
That's true.
So if they're expecting a performance like that and one guy to carry the team, they're going to miss him terribly. If everybody else rallies around his absence and says, look, we're going to have to raise the level of our game, pick up the slack, make up for Torrin not being here, Reefers hockey as usual.
2 of the better goalies in the D-League are playing in this game. Brian Higgins for the Reefers, Sean Sparks for the Tall Boys. I'd say it's a wash as far as goalies go, but both of these guys are going to get put to the test today.
Well, you know, I think that if you're going to look for a most valuable player in the league this year, Brian Higgins' name is going to come up.
It would have to be mentioned, yeah.
As incongruent as that might sound with most valuable player,
away.
Brian Higgins' name has to be mentioned in the same breath as most valuable player. He's had an outstanding season. And Sean Sparks, when he's on his game, he is the best goalie in the league. There's no question about that.
Scratches today for the Tall Boys include Patrick Kavanaugh, and Keith Colgan is out today. He had a family emergency, but that's a big hole to lose on a player like Colgan. He's been very valuable for this Tall Boys team.
Colgan is one of those guys that just silently gets it done behind the scenes. He makes plays. He gets back. He's a good two-way player. He scores key goals. So they will miss him as much as excuse me, I'm standing on your wire, John. I didn't know your wire reached that far. Yeah, Colgan will be missed. I would say as much as anybody between the two teams.
Scratches today for the Reefers include, as we mentioned, Torrin Erickson, Nicholson, and Papian round out the scratches for the Reefers. The teams are warming up now. We have a third member of our team today. It's something we haven't gotten to do a whole lot of this season. He's over on the other side of the rink. He will be doing bench side interviews, and it's the commissioner, Matt Whips. Matt, what's your take on today's matchup between the Tall Boys and the Reefers?
I think this is going to be a great game, guys. You mentioned the scratches, and we're certainly going to watch how that affects the proceedings, but I don't know. I think it's going to be close. The Reefers are always so great defensively. The Tall Boys can score in bunches, so I think we've got a great matchup. And just to let you know, former Slasher star John Stageman is over here. I tried to secure an exclusive interview, but he politely declined. I think emotions are running high. He didn't want to jinx anything, so he's just here to watch.
He's rooting on his brother Brandon on the Reefers. Always good to see D-League alum attending the games. Ladies and gentlemen, as always, all D-League Radio and D-League Radio TV broadcasts are brought to you proudly by the Keg Stand. They are at 38. Where are they? They're over on Westtown Parkway.
3530 Westtown Parkway.
That's right.
Home of the Keg Stand.
I've only said it
Proprietor Ryan
1,000
Greening.
times. Yeah, over on Westtown Parkway, the Keg Stand. They have a full menu. They have a fantastic staff. Ryan Greening and his crew over there do a fantastic job, not only at the Keg Stand, but being big supporters of D-League Radio, and not a more generous owner you will find. But they have half-price wings on Wednesday. They have steak night on Monday and a whole other special 7 days of the week. They're open till 2 a.m. every single night of the week. That is the Keg Stand, the home of D-League and the home of D-League Radio, and coming soon, the home of the D-League Awards. Now, we are lining up at center ice. This proves to be a good one. Game 1 of the Final Four, the conference championships in the D-League. The race for the Commissioner's Cup is underway. Here we go, Pete. Kept in the zone by Van Manen on the far side. 4 Reefers in the slot. Very nice defensive positioning by the team in white. Tim Young looks to try and get the puck up and out of the zone. He's bothered by Papian. That's the senior Papian. That's Don. For the Tall Boys, pass attempt by Flounders misses the mark. Cleared up and around by Tim Young as the Reefers try to get out of their zone. Blocked by Flounders. Tammy Pfeiffer looks to get a loose puck out. It's kept in at the blue line by Travis Boyd. That's still alive. Flounders keeps the puck behind the net. Don Papian gives chase. He's bothered by Taylor and Tom Mertz. Van Manen comes in, swoops in, and gets a loose puck. Mertz can't handle it. It's going to be Don Papian. He gets a shot on goal, and Higgins has to cover up. And we got a whistle. Early action by the Tall Boys in the Reefer zone. They looked to clear it out, but it got kept in inadvertently by Travis Boyd at his own blue line. Leads to a Papian scoring chance, Pete.
Yeah, the Reefers, that is not the start that they wanted. They played that entire first minute in their own end. I was just thinking before that opening drop, this is two contrasting styles. You got one team that's kind of freewheeling in the Tall Boys, and you have a very disciplined team that plays in their lanes and plays their positions in textbook hockey in the Reefers. Textbook hockey just got beat by freewheeling that first minute.
Well, last week, if you recall, the Stampede scored against the Reefers in the first 30 seconds of the game. Now, the Reefers came back, of course, and kind of took over after that wake-up call. Shot attempt goes in! Oh, it's a shot from the blue line and caught Sean Spark napping, and it goes into the 5-hole and goes into the net, and the Reefers have an early 1-0 lead.
That's pretty unbelievable. Their very first shot on goal, and it was really just kind of I think it was just kind of a dump attempt to gain the zone and just put it. It ended up on net. Sean Sparks would love to have that one back.
I would say.
Very uncharacteristic of Sparksy to let in a goal like that.
So just over the 2-minute mark of this game, and it is 1-0 Reefers on an excuse me pass in that goes into the Tall Boys net, and it's 1-0. We have a goal.
Well, it's a goal like that could wake Sparksy up too, because knowing him, he's going to be his own worst critic, and he's going to double down right now on his intensity.
Trey Wade has the puck over on his point on the far side. His shot attempt blocked by the Tall Boys defender, and the puck comes out to center ice where it's played by Brandon Stageman. Taken by Casper Bauer. Young intercepts his clearing attempt to dump it back in, and the Reefers will give chase as Al DeHeer grabs it for the Tall Boys and looks to get it up and out of the zone. Eric Desjardins, the Raging Cajun, dumps it into the Reefers zone. The Tall Boys will give chase. Flounders on the forecheck. Cleared up and around, not out. And now the Reefers clear the zone. That's going to be Travis Boyd at center ice. Looking to make something happen. Tries a backhanded pass, but Roberto was turned the other way. Reefers still with a loose puck. That's going to be Tom Mertz. Bats it in, tries to get around a defender. That's going to be T. Scotter.
Nice play by Mertz to gain the zone there, John.
Very good. T. Scotter, good pressure, gets the puck up, not out. Now taken by Desjardins. He has Zamora breaking forward. Tries to get it to him. A plethora of Reefers back to try and back check on that. Tim Young will gather it in by the Zamboni doors. Intercepted by Flounders. Tries a shot. That's going to be gloved down by Higgins and held on. Good play by Flounders to intercept that puck on at the top of the face-off circle, and he got a decent shot up, but not everything I think he wanted on that, Pete.
No, he didn't get everything that he wanted on it, but great reflexes by Floundy there to make sure that that puck stayed in the zone, and he got the shot off, though.
Jeff Myers credited with the goal for the Reefers, that excuse-me dump-in attempt that went 5-hole on Sparks. So Myers unassisted at 147. Puck down in the tall boys zone. Sparks steers it away for T-Scotter. Has Boyd in on the forecheck for the Reefers. T-Scotter will look to get it up and out of the zone. T-Scotter is one of the more mobile defensemen in the D-League, Pete. He's a former teammate of yours.
Played a couple of seasons with John, yeah. He's also one of the fastest players in the league.
Puck kept in by the Reefers. It's going to go to Tammy Pfeiffer. Her pass attempt goes through the slot. Roberto tries a shot attempt. T-Scotter there for the block. Travis Boyd, centering pass. That's Mertz trying to get a shot away. It's Sparks able to steer that wide. It's going to be Tim Young's shot attempt. Blocked. Young with his own rebound tries a shot. That goes wide of the net. The Reefers putting on the pressure here, Pete.
Well, now we're seeing some vintage Reefer hockey out of them right now. They kind of have the tall boys back on their heels. After that first minute, it's been pretty much the Reefers game.
Some more on the forecheck, able to break up the play. And now the tall boys, we're going to get a penalty, it looks like. He's going to call Flounders. That's Tim Terrell will call Scott Flounders, the league's leading penalty minute getter. Is going to take another trip to the sin bin. He'll get a penalty for tripping, and now the Reefers, with an early 1-0 lead, are going on the power play.
Yeah, he's going to get a trip for a trip right there, and there was some contact at center ice. And it's no secret, the tall boys do play a physical game. That's their forte. They do that to get you out of your game. They certainly did that against the Squirrels last week.
Stageman with a pass over to Harris on the side of the net, misses the mark, and now the tall boys clear the zone, and the Reefers will have to regroup.
Nice play by Casper Bauer there to ice the puck.
Taken by Trey Wade. He's bothered by Grant of the tall boys. Puck goes wide of the Reefer net. Again, the Reefers on the power play. Tall boys adding some good forechecking pressure. Brandon Stageman gets the puck up into the neutral zone. It's going to be taken by Van Manen. He'll pass it back to DeHeer, who fans on his clearing attempt, able to regain the puck and get it up and out. Reefers having some trouble gaining the zone, Pete.
Yeah, they are right now. They're having a little trouble hitting the open man, and if they just look up, the weak side wing across the ice is wide open.
Velde gains the zone for the Reefers with speed. Gets around to here. Comes in. Tries a sharp angled pass. It goes up and in. They're saying it's a goal.
Right there is what we were just talking about, John. That weak side wing. Velde makes the pass cross ice. And the next thing you know, it's in the back of the net.
Aaron Harris is able to put that one home for the Reefers, and they are up 2-0 with a power play goal here early in the first period. Matt Whips over on the other side. I mean, the Reefers seem pretty pumped up over that.
Very much so. That was a beautiful play. Velde showed such great patience there, guys, and soft hands by Harris to finish that. That puck was bouncing a little bit, so that was a great play.
Not far from the spot where Harris scored the championship-winning goal just a season ago.
No, that's true.
And that puts now it's going to be Flounders, but that puts the Reefers up 2-0.
And I think that's Harris's 9th or 10th goal of the season. Talk about a guy that did not suffer from a sophomore slump. He came back even stronger this year than he did his first year in the league.
Puck stolen by the Reefers. Mertz, he tries a shot, and Sparks steers that up to the side. Now another shot attempt. That's going to be Harris again. Comes in. Mertz with a shot attempt, and it just goes wide of the net.
Nobody covering in front for the tall boys there either. There were two Reefers standing all by themselves in front of Sparks.
Kept in at the point by Pfeiffer. She tries to get a pass down low, but that's going to be intercepted by Van Manen. Pfeiffer's good to get a stick in on that and keep the puck away from the tall boys' clearing attempt, and now the Reefers will regroup. It's Tim Young gaining the zone. Loses it. Casper Bauer with it. He'll get it out to Mertz at center ice. Reefers try to regroup. Papian with a loose puck out to center red. Mertz gets it through some people. Meyer gets the puck down low. Casper Bauer looks to clear on the far side and does. Pfeiffer can't gather that in, and we will have an icing call.
I thought they might have waved icing off on that. It
Too.
looked like Tammy could have played that puck on that clearing attempt by Casper Bauer, but smart play by Casper Bauer once again to wrap the puck around and get it out of harm's way.
8.5 minutes gone here in the opening period. It is 2-0 Reefers here in this conference championship game. Game number 1 of today's action. Right here on D-League Radio. John Reichert, Pete Van Halling, and Matt Whips on the call for this matchup between the Reefers and the Tall Boys. Face off one by the Reefers, comes back to Tim Young. He's looking for a shot. That's going to be blocked by Grant. Grant clears it up and out. Piper gives chase. She has Connolly on her tail. Pass up off the boards to Travis Boyd. He gets it up to Roberto. Roberto has Veldy with him. Tries a pass that's a little off the mark. Nesbitt breaks it up, but Roberto there to gather in a loose puck. He chases it into the near side corner, pressured by T. Scotter. Roberto and T. Scotter in the corner. Roberto trying to get around him. Makes a move, comes into the high side, gets a pass out to the front. It's going to be Boyd with a shot attempt, steered away by Sparks. Taken by Wade, his pass attempt goes through, hits some sticks, comes off to the near side, going to be chased down by Grant. His clearing attempt kept in briefly by Trey Wade. Now Conley's going to get the puck out for the Tall Boys and give chase. It gains a zone. He's bothered by Trey Wade. Now Travis Boyd gets it out to the neutral zone for the Reefers. And the Reefers look to regroup once again. Pass over to Roberto. He's bothered by Dejanay. Dejanay will gather in a loose puck, send it into the Reefers zone. And Grant will give chase with Stageman on the puck. Stageman, pass attempt intercepted by Dejanay. Veldy comes over to lend a hand. Kept in by Nesbitt at the point. He tries a pass over to the slot. That's intercepted by Harris. And here come the Reefers once again. It's going to be Roberto. Roberto gains the line. He's bothered by T. Scotter. Those two have already met up several times here in this period, Pete.
They have indeed.
T. Scotter gathers in a loose puck on the left wing side. He's bothered by Trey Wade. Good defense by Trey to get that off of the stick. It comes out of the zone and back in by the Tall Boys. We have an offside. Just 10.5 gone in this first period. It's 2-0. Matt Whips, how are things looking over on your side of the ice?
Well, the Reefers are feeling very good, obviously, out 2-0 so far, and that was kind of a dodge a bullet kind of deal there, a drop pass at the blue line. So Roberto came over kind of shaking his head, happy that that didn't cause any damage.
He broke a cardinal rule of hockey there, Matt, and that is no drop passes at the blue line.
It always looks so inviting.
Yeah, you want to make sure that you've gained that faceoff circle before you leave that puck to a teammate trailing.
Coming in is Tim Young. Tries a shot that deflects off Kasperbauer's stick, and Taylor will give chase over in the near side corner. Pass around the net back to Tim Young, who comes in off of his point. He has Mertz guarding his point. Mertz, a former defenseman with the Knights several years ago, knows as a forward that when your defenseman pinches, cover his point.
Tom Mertz is also a graduate of the Hockey Academy. I think it's the Champions Hockey Academy up in Minnesota. He went up there, and he's been up there with his son. And so Tom Mertz is a real good student of the game.
Not much for a sense of humor, though. Tim Young battles along the near side boards and gathers in a loose puck. It's going to be a 3-on-2 with Tim Young leading the rush. He comes in. He has Harris with a shot, and Sparks will gather that in. He had clear view of the puck, gloves it down, and we'll get another stoppage in play.
And that's how you execute the drop pass. You gain the
was a
zone,
good
you get
one.
in that deep. He knew that Harry was there. Harry's probably calling for the puck. And one of the things that Tim Young did there that is he had the presence of mind to know that that Harry is a right-handed shot, and the drop pass ends up right on his stick.
Clearing attempt by Zamora. He's bothered by Boyd. Behind the Tall Boys net. And we haven't seen the Tall Boys really come in and get any sustained pressure other than that opening minute of the game.
Not since the first minute of play, John. No, we have not. We're seeing textbook hockey beat the freewheeling hockey right now. And I had a feeling this might happen. If you notice, in that first minute, they had all kinds of problems, the Reefers did, doing a typical breakout drill. After that, they've been able to execute it, and look where the puck has been for the last 10 minutes of this game, predominantly down in the south end of this ring.
All in the Tall Boys' end. Pass back to Stageman. He tries a shot that deflects and just goes wide of the net. Sparks got a piece of that. Kept in at the point by Stageman. He passes it into the opposite corner. Boyd will give chase. His shot attempt hits the stick and goes behind the net. And the Tall Boys, again, struggling to just get the puck out of their zone. It's going to be Nesbitt. Up to Thomas. Thomas is able to clear it out. It's going to be Grant on a breakaway. Grant comes in, makes a move, takes a shot, saved by Higgins, and he'll cover up. I don't think Grant got everything he wanted on that one, Pete, but
No,
still,
he
he come away with a breakaway. How did that happen?
I don't know, but he had to be playing on the far side of the red line for that to happen. The puck just squirted out there to him. But this is evidence right here why Brian Higgins could very well be the most valuable player in the league. Look, it wasn't the strongest of shots, but it was mano a mano, and Higgy came out the winner on that one.
I've scored against him. So have you.
I've scored. Yeah, actually, I've scored more goals on Higgins than any other goalie in the league. But that's just because Higgy and I played against each other longer.
3-on-1 if they hurry. It's Roberto coming across with Boyd on the far side. Tries a shot that's deflected by T. Scotter. Good defense by T. Scotter to break that 3-on-1 up. Roberto and T. Scotter behind the net. Puck comes loose, comes out to Pfeiffer on the point. She's going to dump it along the wall around Van Manen. But T. Scotter will get there first for the tall boys to clear it up. That's going to go the length of the ice, and we will get an icing call. Just a little too strong on that pass attempt.
Little too strong on the pass attempt, and there's an example right there where the tall boys are trying to create something rather than take a look at the two guys that were breaking out of the zone. They're trying to just move the puck forward, and right now they're going to have to find themselves. They're going to have to keep their heads up and start looking for each other on the ice and make some of those headman passes or pass to those open lanes. They'll create opportunities if they do that. They certainly have the speed and the talent to.
5:23 remaining here in the first period. It's 1-0, or 2-0, pardon me. Reefers in front. Shot attempt by Young. Hits bodies in front, and now it's a race for the puck. Young comes away the winner on that. Taken by Don Papian. Dumps it back into the Reefers zone. Tammy Pfeiffer will give chase as the Reefers try to regroup. She has a bouncing puck, unable to keep that cleanly. Tries to move it up along the boards, but it's kept in by DeHeer. DeHeer's shot hits skates and comes towards the slot. Pfeiffer and Flounders battling it out. Cleared out up to Kasperbauer. His shot attempt, that's blocked by Mertz. Connolly from the corner. Pass attempt broken up by Young. Here cleared up and out of the zone. Icing is waved off, and Sparks will come out to play it and leave it for Kasperbauer off to the side.
That Reefers winger is going to have to stay high on Kasperbauer because he's got a cannon of a shot. He scored last week against the Squirrels on that very play.
Brought in by Roberto for the Reefers. Broken up by Kasperbauer in the high slot. Mertz there to keep the puck in the zone for the Reefers. Harris gives chase on the far side. Back to Mertz. Shot attempt that goes in on net. I think Roberto got a piece of that, and Sparks had to be sharp. Taken by Flounders now of the Tall Boys, and he'll get it up and out of the zone, and that'll be another icing for the Tall Boys. Are they in desperation mode already?
I don't think they're in desperation mode already, but this can't go on much longer. The Reefers are going to they're going to break through with one or two more goals if they keep this kind of pressure on. Right now, Sparks is keeping them in the game. Stageman made a great shot from the point on the shift before this when he was out on the ice that Sparksy just got a pad down on. This time he stretches out, gets a pad on it, makes another good save. Ordinarily, those goals are in D-League.
Clearing attempt by Velde, or a clearing attempt is intercepted by Velde, and he gets a puck up to his points where Zamora will clear it out of the zone for the Tall Boys. Stageman goes back, and the former Knight will look to make something happen. His pass attempt broken up by Zamora, who tries a shot, and Higgins has to stop it with a pad. Zamora has had the hot hand lately for the Tall Boys, Pete, and he almost put one in the net to bring his team within one, but now it's Velde. Pass attempt over to Taylor. That's just going to be too wide. Taylor will send it right back to the slot. Zamora breaks that up and chips it out of the zone, and the Reefers will have to regroup. Great shot by Zamora, and even better save by Higgins on that play.
Oh, great intercept by Zamora. He knew he must have been a mind reader on that to know that clearing attempt was going to come up the middle, which, by the way, another cardinal rule of hockey.
Exactly. And
don't make those clearing passes up the middle. That's always dangerous.
Zamora,
you never know who's going to be lurking in there.
Zamora on the far side. He has played all three positions effectively this year. He plays goalie and later this afternoon for the Aces in the second game of our conference championship weekend. And as a defenseman, he knew that pass, where that pass was going to go, and playing forward this week was able to intercept that.
Well, talk about students of the game. I mean, he's the voice of the Buccaneers. He does games for us here. He's watched so much hockey. He plays with a great intensity. And the second half of the season, he's been a difference maker for the Tall Boys.
Oh, he sure has, absolutely.
And here he is now.
Right on cue, Eric Zamora up the left wing side, loses control of the puck, has the foresight to, gains it, has Grant breaking to the net. Zamora with the shot, saved by Higgins. Rebound comes into the slot, broken up and taken away by Tim Young. Again, another good shot by Zamora.
Now we've seen both goalies flash that leather and make some big saves.
Tim Young comes in, fires a shot from the high slot. Sparks will cover that up, and we get a stoppage of play with 1:52 remaining here in the first period of this 2-0 game between the Reefers and the Tall Boys right here on D-League Radio.
Brought to you by the Keg Stand. 3530 Westtown Parkway, John, just for your edification.
I've only said those numbers 1,000 times. Just drew a blank. You can relate.
30. Yeah. Well, most certainly. I'm sorry. What were you saying?
Casper Power with a loose puck for the Tall Boys. Gets up and out of the zone. Trying to gain the line. He has Van Manen with him. Tries a shot. And that's cleared away by Higgins.
And that's a save that I don't think Higgy meant to make.
Taken by Stageman. He had his wingers off to the side. A pass may have been the better move. Intercepted by Van Manen, who gets around Pfeiffer, comes to the far side corner. He has a player going to the crease. Bodies flying around. Van Manen still with the puck. Back out to Casper Bauer at the point. Lots of traffic in front. Shot. Higgins with the save. Rebound just goes wide. That was Thomas. Now another shot attempt. Hits the back of the net. Pfeiffer and Mertz giving chase. Battling with Flounders. Puck still out. Flounders kicks at it. Stageman will gather in that loose puck. And now the Reefers will come up. It's going to be Boyd. He has Meyer with him and lots of room to skate. Gains the line. Tries to hit Meyer. That just goes wide. DeHeer and Meyer in the near side corner. Meyer's pass broken up, and that goes to the far side where Van Manen will gather it in for the Tall Boys, but Tammy Pfeiffer keeps it in on the point. Goes to the captain, Matt Velde. He makes a move, comes to the slot, takes a shot. Blocked away with the pads by Sean Sparks. Now it's going to be Meyer once again coming around the net, looking to make something happen. Play broken up by Van Manen. Flounders in the corner with Velde. Van Manen behind the net. This is some good action. Lots of bodies starting to fly around.
A lot of bodies starting to fly, and I don't know what Sparks paid for those pads, but they're worth every penny of it.
Shot attempt towards the net at the end, hits a body and just goes wide of the net. Velde with a nice intercept. Creates another scoring opportunity for the Reefers, and an exciting first period comes to a close. Holy smokes, it's 2-0 Reefers.
Exciting and surprising. I did not think that this would be 2-0 Reefers. I really thought that both teams would feel each other out a little bit. 0-0, 1-1, somewhere around there. I did not predict a 2-goal lead for either team at the end of the first.
Down on the Tall Boys bench, we have Matt Whips. It looks like he has Josh Van Manen with him. Matt, what do you have for us, buddy?
Guys, I'm down here with Tall Boys Josh Van Manen. Josh, you guys start out really strong. The Reefers kind of controlled pace the rest of the period, and then you got a nice flurry there at the end of the period. What do you guys got to do to get back into this?
Well, we stopped moving our feet in the middle of the period. Started standing around reaching. Guys like Tim Young, Brandon Stageman, Matt Velde, you can't do that. You always got to be moving your feet. Puck's bouncing a little bit on us. We just got to play a good structured game. There's tons of game left. We can get back in this. We can score in a hurry. We got some guns ourselves.
Hey, Matt, would you remind Van Manen that if you're not Dutch, you're not much?
Pete wanted me to pass on to you that if you're not Dutch, you're not much. So there you go.
Well, I am Dutch, so I guess I'm in the lucky few, eh, Pete?
That's right, buddy.
All right, thanks, Josh. Good luck in the second.
Thank you, you bet.
All right, now Josh brought up some interesting points that the Tall Boys got caught flat-footed several times, and with, as he pointed out, with skaters like Velde, Stageman, Tim Young, Tom Mertz, you can't be flat-footed against skaters like that. Are they going to realize this? It sounds like they're cognizant of it. Well, now they have to put it into practice.
Yeah, I was going to say at the break that I noticed, and I'm sure you did too, John, the last 3 minutes or so of that period, the Tall Boys' intensity really picked up. They were in the zone more, getting to loose pucks more, trying to create open ice and looking for each other a whole lot better, and that's what they're going to need to do if they want to get back in this game.
The common denominator on that was Eric Zamora, though. Again, a very hard-nosed to the grindstone type player who was leading the charge on a lot of that.
Well, Z doesn't know the meaning of the word quit. We thought over here when he had the puck on the blue line and he's breaking into the zone, he lost control of the puck. You're thinking all of a sudden the Reefers are going to go the other way. He stays focused, stays on the puck, gains the zone, and creates an opportunity for his team at the end of the period.
Second period underway as we start off the Reefers going from left to right on your radio dial. For those of you not tuned into D-League Radio TV, streaming live on YouTube this afternoon. But we do thank you all for joining us here. We're worldwide, Pete.
We are. We have listeners from Maine to the redwood forests of California, I'm sure.
And Mexico, Germany. We've had Spain come in on our statistics.
I think next year aren't we going to be simulcast in Spanish?
Yeah, that's it. Give us ideas. Fantastic. Just under a minute has been played. Tim Young gathers in a loose puck in the Reefers zone. Looks to get it up to Aaron Harris. Harris unable to handle that deflection off the boards. It's taken by T. Scotter. T. Scotter and Harris battle for a puck. Those two former teammates of the Squirrels. facing off against each other. Now it's going to be Conley gaining the zone. Roberto breaks that up. Conley able to gather in a loose puck, loses it in his feet, and it's going to be taken by Mertz. Mertz up to Harris, intercepted by T. Scotter, who comes in. He has a lane, takes a shot. That had 5-hole written all over it, and I don't know if Higgins was actually confident that he got that one.
I think he almost looked behind him because T. Scotter took the perfect shot right there, and that is keep the puck on the ice, shoot for the 5-hole on the goalie when you've got that lane, because at the very least, you might end up with a rebound. Higgy was lucky to close those pads up in time. We've seen a lot of shots that have been low to the ice. We haven't seen a whole lot of stuff just under the crossbar in this first period.
And we have the players that have the talent to do that.
Yeah. You know, I think, John, statistically, 75%, 3 out of every 4 shots are scored with the puck on the ice, not elevated.
In our league, that's probably true.
Well, that's 75% with the players are on the ice and prone.
Pass attempt by Zamora, glove down by Higgins before any damage could be done. That puts a stoppage in play, as we have played 2 1/4 here in the second period. It's 2-0 Reefers. Face off to the right of the Reefer netminder. Face off won by the Reefers. Pass attempt up to Taylor as DeHeer gives chase. DeHeer and Taylor. Taylor with some speed comes into the zone. He has Boyd breaking towards the net. Tries to get a shot out to Veldy. Veldy in the high slot tries a backhander, and that's blocked by Kasperbauer. Stageman comes in and tries a pass whom he thought was a teammate, but that was actually Eric Zamora. And Brandon Stageman, a frequent listener to D-League Radio, thought Zamora was on his team for just a brief second. No damage done, though, as the puck comes back into the tall boy zone and Kasperbauer chases it down. Off the wall up to Zamora on the point. Tries to get it up to Flounders. Flounders gaining the zone for the tall boys. He's bothered by Veldy. Good back checking by Matt Veldy. That's why I always tell my players it's important to skate. Just because the puck's going the other way, you don't stop skating.
It's what you do without the puck that wins hockey games.
Absolutely. Brandon Stageman, the former slasher, coming through the neutral zone. He has Taylor and Veldy with him, and that is going to be offside. Taylor just a step too far. And
that's a break for the tall boys, too, because they had 3 forwards up in the play and a defenseman ahead of the tall boys, too. The tall boys looked like a tired group on that shift, so it was a lucky break that they were offside.
Puck in the neutral zone. One back by the Reefers. Tammy Pfeiffer dumps it into the zone for the Reefers as Meyer will give chase to T. Scotter behind the tall boys' net. Clearing attempt comes up, kept in by Tim Young. He tries a shot, and that goes wide of the net and along the near side boards where T. Scotter will chip it up and out to Van Monen. Josh Van Monen back to T. Scotter. Nice play by the tall boys. That's broken up by the ever alert Tom Mertz to Joe Roberto at center ice. Mertz 1-on-5 comes in, tries a shot, and that goes wide. Overskated by Meyer. Cleared up and out by Van Monen. Over to Thomas. Thomas back to Van Monen, who gains the zone. Gathers in a loose puck, sends a shot on goal, blockered away by Higgins. Van Monen got a lot on that shot. Now a shot by Grant, and Higgins has to make another save. Behind the net to Thomas. Shot attempt by Grant. Higgins with another save. Mertz will gather in a loose puck for the Reefers, and now it's a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Pass attempt by Mertz just misses the mark. Icing will be waved off on that as T. Scotter gets back there first for the tall boys. Nesbitt on the far side boards. His clearing attempt blocked by Mertz, but the puck trickles up and out, taken by Thomas of the tall boys, who's now bothered by Roberto. Roberto will take that loose puck. Cleared around the net. Meyer will give chase with Van Monen. Puck loose in the near corner. Van Monen and Pfeiffer battling. Van Monen, he just towers over Tammy in that corner. It looked like a mugging. No icing on the play. Sparks fans on the clearing attempt. Van Monen, or Nesbitt there, pardon me, to clear it out for the tall boys. Up to Grant, who can't handle that puck. It goes to Veldy. Veldy gains the zone. Bothered by T. Scotter. T. Scotter again. Good defensive play by T. Scotter to get that puck out. Taken by Grant at the point. Tries a shot/pass, and that will come back out of the zone where Kasperbauer will clear it back in for the tall boys as they finish their line change.
Don't you get the impression, John, the next goal is huge in this game?
I do. I really do.
It's one of those where you just feel like whoever scores next has a very good opportunity of winning the game.
Puck back into the tall boys zone, taken by Kasperbauer, played up off the boards as he was trying to hit Connolly. That's just going to go a little bit too far as Tim Young will chase it down for the Reefers and get it up to Velde on the near side boards. It's a 3-on-2 if they hurry. Velde, Harris, and Taylor. Velde comes to the slot, over to Taylor. Taylor on the far side tries a pass to go behind the net. That's broken up by Kasperbauer. His
unselfish play by Velde. He probably should have taken the shot though and look for a rebound on that one rather than go wide that deep into the zone.
Reefers looking to gain the zone once again. It's going to be Trey Wade. He comes in, his shot attempt deflected by Kasperbauer, and that causes the puck to go wide. Papian can't hang on to that puck on the far side. DeHeer will gather in a loose puck and get it up to Connolly. Connolly and Flounders looking to gain the zone for the Tall Boys, but that's broken up and played out by the captain, Velde, as he gets it to Wade. Velde to Wade. Wade gets it into the zone. It's going to be Harris. Takes a shot. That's going to be broken up by Kasperbauer. Good defense by Kasperbauer to break that up. Wade can't hold that puck in. It's going to be chased down by Zamora and Stageman. Zamora still with the puck. Comes in one-on-one against Higgins. Tries a shot. Higgins with the save. Rebound still loose. Zamora with the puck around the net. Comes out to Flounders. He can't hang on to it. And it's cleared up and out of the zone by the Reefers. The Reefers dodge a bullet there, Pete.
Tall Boys did everything but put the puck in the net. Higgy makes a couple of great saves. And then he's sprawled out. They leave the entire weak side post wide open, and they cannot convert.
Again, great patience by Zamora to get that puck around the net. Flounders just couldn't gather that pass in with Higgins down. Wow.
This should be a 2-1 game after that.
Absolutely. Loose puck taken by Wade of the Reefers in the neutral zone. Gets it up to Mertz. Mertz will gain the zone and drop it off to Boyd. Boyd has Roberto breaking towards the net, tries to hit him with a pass that's broken up by Nesbitt. Puck cleared up and out, but the Reefers are still offside as Mertz is going to have to get back, and T-Scotter will gather in a loose puck for the Tall Boys and look to try and get his team going the other way. His pass attempt misses the mark. That comes all the way down, and we will get an icing call with 11:49 remaining in the second period. It's still 2-0 Reefers.
I'll tell you, I'm surprised it's 2-0. We've seen some great scoring chances, particularly in that last shift. And I want to make mention how that all came about was this is 2 or 3 times we've seen Kasperbauer do this. He has the ability as a defenseman to wrap it around the glass. We don't have many defensemen in the D-League that can make that pass off the glass and start your breakout drill. But Kasperbauer can do it, and he did it on that one, and it ended up with a bunch of chances down there in front of Higgins.
Velde with some good action down low for the Reefers. Gets it back to Piper, who dumps it back down in the zone. The aforementioned Kasperbauer gets it up to Zamora, and the puck comes out of the zone. Zamora will give chase. It's a 3-on-2. If the Tall Boys come back and hurry, it's going to be Zamora. Zamora comes in, fakes a look, takes the shot. Higgins with the save, unable to gather that in. And now Zamora back to the point. Bodies in front. Zamora looks to pass it back down low to, or Kasperbauer back down to Zamora. Zamora behind the net, again showing good patience, makes a pass. And that's cleared up and taken out by Travis Boyd of the Reefers as he gains the zone. Bothered by Kasperbauer, dumps the puck down low. Roberto will give chase for the Reefers along with DeHeer for the Tall Boys. Comes up and out, taken by Desjardins. Van Manen was just coming off the bench, Pete, and was behind the defense. Tim Young saw that, and instead of trying to keep the puck in, just backed up. He saw DeHeer was going to get there first. Good heads-up play by Tim Young.
Talk about hockey IQ. He's got it right there.
And now we have a stoppage in play as a penalty is going to be called. Let's see who it is. Oh, I think they just called offside. Okay.
Just a quick over and back on that one. So the faceoff's going to be right outside the Reefer zone. But you're right. That was a great play by the youngster to pick Van Manen up as he was coming off the bench.
Yeah, Desjardins was gathering in that loose puck, and Young saw it was going to happen first. Now Young has a puck, comes in, gains his own, tries a shot, just goes wide. He had Sparks leaning left. He shot right.
Get the goalie going one way and send the puck the other.
Clearing attempt. Gets past Trey Wade, and now Van Manen will chase a loose puck. He has Mertz giving pressure. Van Manen comes in, leaves it for T-Scotter. Nice pass, blocked by Tom Mertz. Now Flounders with the shot. That goes wide. Higgins had to make a stop. It pops back out for the Tall Boys, but the Reefers will gather it in first and clear up and out of the zone as Tom Mertz takes the heat out of a hot kitchen. Good pressure by the Tall Boys there.
Boy, they're just a bounce away from that being right on their stick, and Higgins is clear on the other side of the net. The net is wide open, but it's just not bouncing their way on those occasions.
Collision at the blue line between Stageman and Flounders. Shot attempt saved by Higgins. Rebound cleared out before Van Monen could get there to put it into an open net for the Tall Boys.
Stageman and Flounders, that's about the third time they've come together today and bounced off of each other.
Brought into zone by Veldy. He'll take a shot, and Sparks will cover that up as we get another stoppage in play with 8:38 remaining here in the second period. Lots of good action right here in this conference championship game between the Tall Boys and the Reefers on D-League Radio.
Yeah, well played second period, and that was a smart cover-up by Sparks, too. There wasn't any undue pressure on him right there, but he knew that he had to get some fresh legs out there. So that gives the Tall Boys a chance to make a wholesale change.
Wade has trouble keeping that in. It's broken up by Conley. Conley with a loose puck being chased down by Stageman. Stageman putting on pressure. There's a shot attempt. Conley got one hand on the stick and was able to get the shot towards the net. Higgins is able to save that, and the puck is cleared up and out, dumped back into the zone by the Tall Boys. Stageman will give chase along with Grant on the forecheck for the team in the checkered, whatever you want to call it, jerseys. Harris brings the puck in. His pass attempt broken up by Casper Bauer. That's about the sixth time we've said that today.
Well, Casper Bauer, you're seeing evidence of why Casper Bauer is the best defenseman in D-League.
Broken up again by the Tall Boys. Veldy, as he was trying to come through the slot, loses the puck. Now Connolly loses it to Veldy. It's going to be a 3-on-2 if the Reefers hurry. Roberto along with Harris and Veldy. Puck comes in, saved by Sparks, and he'll cover up.
Probably the best scoring opportunity of the period right there for the Reefers. And I like that combination of those three out there. They've been able to find each other all day long.
We have Matt Whips over on the other side of the ice. Matt, what's your read on the benches? Some good action this period, much better than the first for the Tall Boys.
Very good action. You know, they started that second kind of like they started the first period in that they had a lot of intensity. And I wanted to see if they could keep it up. They have. And if anything, they've made even more. And as you just mentioned, the Reefers really had their first and best opportunity to score right there. So the Tall Boys are back in this game.
Well, let's not forget, other than that, listen, anything you put on net and goes in is a good goal. There's no such thing as a bad goal. But that was kind of a softie, that first goal. Otherwise, this is a 1-0 game.
True. Tall Boys coming through the neutral zone. Onside, it's going to be T. Scotter. The defenseman comes in, joins the rush, takes a shot, puck behind the net. T. Scotter chases down his own rebound, cleared around by Tammy Pfeiffer. Up towards the point, Roberto tries to chip it past Nesbitt and does. Now Roberto loses his footing, and the Tall Boys will dump it back into the Reefer zone to try to get some more pressure on Higgins. Pfeiffer off the boards. Taylor cherry picking way down the other side of the ice. Shot attempt by Flounders. Higgins has it. They don't know where it is. Now a whistle. The puck went through his legs as he tried to cover up, and Young was there to clear it away. Whistle had blown. Referee indicating immediately there was no goal. Close call for the Reefers.
Real close call for the Reefers. And I don't want to jinx our buddy Brian Higgins, but in this period, he's not seeing the puck as well as he did in the first period, and he's not covering up. He's leaving some fat, juicy rebounds out front, and all it's going to take is for the puck to bounce the right way, and the Tall Boys are going to be right back in this game.
Tall Boys come out of the zone, puck in the neutral zone. Boyd chips it ahead. Young trying to break free. Young comes in, takes a shot, saved by Sparks. Good speed by Tim Young to make that play happen. Great save by Sean Sparks.
Like I said, after Sparks, he let in that softie, he's doubled down. He's played with a great amount of intensity.
Flounders gets around Pfeiffer, has a loose puck, has a lane, comes in, takes a shot, and it goes in! Higgins got a piece of it, but it goes into the net, and now the Tall Boys have erased that 2-0 deficit to now a deficit of only 1.
Well, how many times have we said this in hockey vernacular, that a 2-goal lead is the most dangerous lead to protect in hockey, regardless of where you're at in the game, but particularly at the end of a game. But right now, 2-1, flip a coin.
The Tall Boys have been knocking on the door the entire period.
Yeah.
Now they finally get one in.
Yeah, and Higgy has looked a little vulnerable this period. He looked very confident. He was stopping and seeing everything. he made some really good saves, but he's looked a little iffy this period.
Velde with the shot, Sparks with the save. Rebound comes out. Taylor tries to hit Boyd on the far side. It cleared up out of the zone by Grant for the Tall Boys. Yeah, you're right. He has looked a little shaky this period.
A little bit.
Velde and Zamora come together on the boards, jump back into the Reefer zone by the Tall Boys. Tall Boys skating with some confidence now. Reefers make the breakout. It's going to be Velde. He loses it in Myers' skates. And now the Reefers will have to chase. The Reefers now
they look
uncharacteristically looking a little shaken.
A little bit.
Velde coming in, has a lane, tries a shot that's broken up by Nesbitt. Taylor on the far side, loose puck, chased down by Velde. Velde in the high slot. T-Scotter breaks that puck away. T-Scotter up and out of the zone. He and Wade collide. Zamora comes in, broken up nicely by Brandon Stageman, and the Reefers will have to get out of the zone. Good play by Brandon Stageman.
Great play by Brandon Stageman because they had numbers on that one.
Taylor was going to go make a pass to Mertz or Brandon Stageman at the line, but broken up nicely by the Tall Boys forecheck. Mertz unable to handle the puck on the near side. Zamora will clear it up and out as the Reefers will regroup. Dumped in by Stageman. Nesbitt goes back for the Tall Boys to get it behind his own net, and the Tall Boys will look to break out. Nesbitt loses it to Mertz. Mertz back down into the near corner looking for Meyer. T-Scotter will get there first as he hits Papian over on the far side, and Papian will just take the heat out of the hot kitchen there and clear it up and out.
Yeah, Papian able to clear that puck because the Reefers defense was changing behind the play and not pinching
Kept in by Van Monen. Van Monen coming in. He has Taylor. Shoots and scores. It's Van Monen who ties the game at 2:15 remaining in the second period. A bad turnover by the Reefers at the blue line, and Van Monen makes him pay.
Tale of 2 periods of hockey, huh?
Wow. Higgins got a piece of that first shot that went in for the Reefers, but this time Van Monen just buried it.
Yeah, he didn't get a piece of that one. Van Monen fired a rocket from about the hash marks.
And Matt Whips, the tone seems to have changed in volume from the right side of the benches to the left.
It has flipped, guys. If you look at the benches, it's like the Reefers became the Tall Boys and vice versa. And that was just a beautiful shot. Van Monen actually used a teammate as a screen on that. And it's 2-2. This is going to be one heck of a finish here coming up in the third.
Puck knocked up and out of play with 1:20 remaining here in the second period. Faceoff will be in the Tall Boy zone to the left of Sean Sparks. And the Reefers struggling this period. Faceoff won by the Reefers. It's going to be Harris. He turns and fires towards the net. Roberto will chase it down on the far side. Back to Pfeiffer. Pfeiffer through traffic tries a shot, but flounders. Is it going to intercept that and bring it out for the Tall Boys? Tries to get around Pfeiffer, but she's able to get her body in between him and the puck to break that up. Now Roberto over to Harris on the near side. Casper Bauer falls down. Harris comes in, tries a shot. Sparks saw that all day and gloves it down.
Well, Harry had an opportunity to cut toward the middle there with Casper Bauer uncharacteristically falling down on the play. If he just kind of cut toward the middle with a couple of guys crashing it, he might have had a little better opportunity. I think Sparks is going to see that shot. He's going to make that save every time.
And you see Casper Bauer with a huge sigh of relief.
No kidding.
23 seconds remain. Face off in the Tall Boys zone. It's going to be Harris. Shot deflected. Goes in on net. It's still loose. Casper Bauer clears it away from the net. Taken out by Conley. Over to Desjardins, back to Conley. 10 seconds remaining in the period. It's Conley near side. Tries a shot that's going to go wide. 6 seconds remaining. Pfeiffer around her own net. That'll do it for this period. As the Reefers will get it on the near side boards. Again, a tale of 2 periods. You said it, Pete. And we have a tie game.
Each team has won a period 2-0, and now we're going to see. We have 18 minutes to decide who's going to go to the championship game.
We have Matt Whips. He's over on the Reefers bench right now, and he has a player set aside for an interview. Go ahead, Matt.
Guys, I'm down here with Reefers defenseman and founder of White Skates Nation, Trey Wade. Trey, you guys got off to a big start, 2-0. Now, Tall Boys have come all the way back to tie this. What do you guys got to do in the third to pull this out?
Probably got a little too aggressive and started pinching all of our D, and including me, and we've turned the puck over a couple times, and there you go. So we just need to stay back and play the way we should, and we should be fine. We got people that can score up and down the line, so we'll get one. We just got to be cognizant of what the hell we're doing out there and stop trying to get too cute. And that's me. I put that on myself more than anybody.
All right, well, best of luck in the third. I'll let you get back to your teammates. Thank you, Trade.
Now, Pete,
Matt, would you remind Trey not to use words like cognizant? Our audience really, that's
fantastic.
Yeah.
Now, Pete, Trey did hit the nail on the head there. He said they may have gotten a little too fancy, a little too cute, and weren't getting back to the basics of putting the puck on net, and it's cost them.
and the pinching part too. And I did notice a play right in front of us. Trey was playing on the blue line, closest to us, his defensive position, and he did in fact pinch on one play that resulted in an odd man rush for the Tall Boys. Did not result in a goal, but it's giving them opportunities. And this is what you have to be careful of when you play a freewheeling team, a creative team like the Tall Boys. Yes, they rely on Matt Kasperbauer to anchor that defense and to make those headman passes. But they're willing to take some chances. You'll see guys like Zamora breaking out of the zone, maybe a half a stride earlier than you normally would break out on a breakout drill. And this is what's creating these chances. So we're going to see how these contrasting styles match up in the third period. I like this game. I like this game a lot.
This is a good one.
Very entertaining.
This is a good one. And again, the Tall Boys a week ago upset the number 4 seed.
I'd like to be playing in this game more than broadcasting it. But
what I was going to say is that the Tall Boys upset the Squirrels last week in a very similar style, blocking a lot of passing lanes, blocking a lot of shots, and frustrating the Squirrels.
Yes,
this
they did.
week in that second period, especially, you saw the same thing.
Exactly. That was a blueprint of their game plan last week versus us, and they took us out of our game. That period, they took the Reefers out of theirs.
Forecheck by Brandon Stageman. He's able to battle Nesbitt for a puck, and it's down low in the Tall Boys zone, and chipped up and out by Connolly. Connolly and Harris battling along. Connolly's able to come up and out with the puck. Puck in the neutral zone. Dejanay with the puck. Dumps it into the Reefer zone. Bodies coming together. Words being exchanged.
Yeah, and if I were to give the Reefers any coaching advice, it's stay out of the box this period.
Puck pass attempt comes very close to the blue paint. Dejanay gets a shot away. That goes wide and around the net. Kept in by T. Scotter. He passes it down to Connolly. Taken by Velde of the Reefers. He'll chip it up the boards and out of the zone. Or Van Monen, or I beg your pardon, that's Nesbitt. Tries to clear it in, but the big body of Austin Taylor blocks that pass and comes into the Tall Boys zone. T. Scotter and Taylor back behind the Tall Boys net. Taken by Nesbitt. His clearing attempt comes up. Connolly able to get it out. Loses it to Grant. Corey Grant over to Dejanay on the near side. Stageman will gather that in for the Reefers and clear it out, and Tall Boys will have to regroup. The Tall Boys are skating like their hair is on fire right now. They are flying out there.
Yeah, they really are. And the Reefers are going to have to pick their game up here and match them stride for stride.
Deep in the Reefers zone. Wade will go behind the back and around the net, taken out by Stageman. Stageman's clearing attempt goes into the the Tall Boys zone. Kept in at the point nicely by Harris, gets it to Roberto. Roberto with the shot, that's broken up by Kasperbauer. Puck goes into the near far side corner. Harris is in front. Pass attempt by Roberto, broken up by DeHeer, the all-star defenseman for the Tall Boys. Now we're going to get a whistle, and it looks like we're going to get a penalty on the Tall Boys. Just as we said, they need to stay out of the box, not give the Reefers any breathing room. They're making a trip to the sin bin, and it's Scott Flounders once again.
Imagine that. I just... What'd they whistle him up for? Did anybody see that, guys?
I didn't see. We will have it here on the computer shortly. But now the Tall Boys are shorthanded for 3 minutes. 15:35 remaining in the period. 2-2's the score. Face-off comes back to Young. Young, shot attempt. That goes wide. It went through traffic. Sparks didn't have to put a net on it. Now we have bodies coming together. It's Roberto and Thomas. Shot attempt broken up by the Tall Boys. That's going to be Zamora. Will clear the puck out of the zone, and the Reefers will regroup. Higgins behind his net to Young.
Nice play by Zamora. I'll tell you what, Tim Young, he made a nice shot from the point, but that's one of those where it went through everybody because he shot at shoulder height. Those shots on the point, you want to make sure that they're about ankle height so they get redirected. They're hitting they're hitting sticks and ankles and skates and getting on net.
Flounders in the box for elbowing. Tim Young gains the zone for the Reefers. Tries a shot. That had something on it, and Sparks will smother that. And the faceoff will come to the left of the Tall Boys netminder with just 2 minutes remaining on this Reefer power play.
Well, Sparks has played phenomenal since that first early goal.
True.
He's really shut him down, and he's been tested.
The Tall Boys flirting with disaster here. They didn't have enough skaters on the ice. They're already shorthanded. They're lucky to get a delay of game penalty.
I was just thinking the same thing, John. I mean, that's not a bad play to take your time and because it chews up that running clock on the penalty kill. But Tim Terrell, being the good official that he is, he would know enough to call a delay of game if that lasted much longer.
Puck deflected up and into this capacity crowd. We'll get a face-off in the neutral zone. 1:15 remaining on this power play for the Reefers. Again, a 2-2 game here in the third period. Puck over on the near side, and Taylor will try to bat that into the Tall Boys zone. Cleared up and out by Van Manen. That'll go the length of the ice. Under a minute remaining on the power play. Tim Young in his own zone. Tries to get around Grant and does. Young through the zone with speed. Gains the blue line. Far side circle. Looking for somebody to pass to as Taylor out in front. Tries to get it to him. Cleared out by T. Scotter. Good play, John T. Scotter. How many times have we said that this season?
Boy, I'll tell you how many times have we said that just this afternoon. Good play by T. Scotter. T. Scotter and Casper Bauer back there on defense. And Nesbitt, too, for that matter, has had a great game.
He's had a very good day. In the neutral zone, broken up by T. Scotter once again, and it's going to be Mertz gathering it in for the Reefers. He gets it into the Tall Boys zone where Van Manen will gather in a bouncing puck and send it down the ice, but intercepted by Stageman. Grant giving pressure over to Trey Wade. Wade loses control of it, dumps it into the zone. T. Scotter there for the Tall Boys to get it up and out. He has Van Manen up the ice. If you can just see him, that's going to be offside. It looked like T. Scotter saw him, but then elected not to pass. Van Manen was open and trying to stay onside.
Yeah, he would have been better off with either passing it or just dumping it into the zone when he saw Van Manen stretching that leg trying to stay onside.
That all happened as the penalty expired. So now both teams back to full strength, and the Tall Boys really dodge a bullet.
So does this game end up 3-2? Can one goal win it? One more goal win it?
As we said earlier, the next goal is huge, and that ended up being the Tall Boys scoring and then eventually tying the game. Wow, I don't know, buddy. I really don't know.
The way these goaltenders are playing, this looks like it's going to be a 3-2 game, but who can say?
Puck kept in at the point by Casper Bauer down to Flounders. His shot attempt comes into the crease, and Higgins tries to glove it down and will cover it up with 11:38 remaining here in the third period.
Glad to see Higgy do that, just to bat that thing down. It really wasn't coming on net. It was kind of going across the net, but just to get a glove on it, bat it down, and pounce on that thing and get the face-off in his hand, gets him handling the puck with a little more confidence that he did not, quite frankly, he did not do in the second period.
Face-off one back by the Reefers. This is going to be Meyer up off the boards. That comes out of the zone. Casper Bauer will dump it right back in, but the Tall Boys are offside, and they'll have to regroup. Tim Young will chase it down in the near side corner for the Reefers. Cross ice pass over to Harris. Up to Myers, who gains the zone for the Reefers. Tries a shot, then hits the crossbar.
It hit the crossbar. Yes, it did.
Sparks got a glove on it, but it hit the crossbar after he was unable to hang on, and the Reefers still with the puck in the zone. It's going to be Young from the high slot. Tries a shot. This time, Sparks will glove that one down.
That shot looked like it hit.
That was
that
a
it hit his
pucker moment.
blocker, ran right up the length of his stick,
It did.
hit the crossbar, and bounced to the corner. I'm going to tell you, the post and the crossbar, the goalie's best friends.
Tall Boys dodge a bullet there. The crossbar comes into play.
Well, Aaron Harris made that play, too, by headmanning
did.
that puck as
He really
quickly
did.
as he did to his teammate. That was Meyer with the
That
shot,
was
wasn't it?
Meyer with the shot, yeah. Face off deep in the Tall Boys zone. Grant tries a clearing attempt, gets it to Zamora, who hits a Casper Bauer, who's trying to break up and out of the zone, and we get an icing call. Face off will come back down into the Tall Boys zone.
Well, there's Casper Bauer breaking out of the zone, and that's what the tall boys are noted for. They get a little creative with that. It's high risk and high reward. That time they weren't able to convert. It ends up with icing and the face-off down in the tall boys' end.
Face-off one back to Tim Young. He'll try shot attempt. That hits a stick in front, comes in on Sparks, and he'll cover up. And we'll do this all over again. We're under the halfway point of the third period.
That was a sneaky little play there. That thing almost got redirected, and it was bouncing, too.
Face-off one again by Velde. Shot attempt by Taylor, and that goes wide. Comes on the far side wall. It's taken by Zamora. He chips it up, and it's going to be taken by Grant on the left wing side for the tall boys. Velde there to gather in a loose puck around his own net, up off the boards, trying to hit Taylor. Taylor chips it up and out of the zone where T-Scotter will gather it in for the tall boys. Dejanay and Grant still in the zone, but Velde will come out for the Reefers. Velde tries to get around Nesbitt and does. Tries a shot, but that was way off the mark, and it comes off the far side wall, and the tall boys will clear the zone. 8:52 remaining. It's Tim Young trying to dance through the zone around Pfeiffer. They collide, and Velde gathers in a loose puck at his own blue line.
I'm not so sure that was a pass by or a shot by Velde. I think he was looking for somebody breaking.
There was nobody
just to
there.
Tip it. No, there wasn't anybody there, but I
Velde
think he was
comes back
hoping
in and
it
tries
was.
a shot, and that goes wide, though. I agree. I don't know if it was a shot or a pass, but there was nobody there that led me to believe it was a shot.
I think Matt was just passing to a spot and hoping that a teammate was filling that gap.
Grant gets the puck out of the zone for the tall boys. It looks like the Reefers are starting to gain a little bit of momentum again, Pete.
The puck is being played to our left a little more.
Zamora with the puck for the tall boys. He's bothered by Wade. Good defense by Trey Wade. He was pretty down on himself during the intermission interview, but there makes a real nice play to get the puck out of the zone.
Yeah, I was afraid he might turn in his white skates and hang him up. But
we could never be so lucky.
No, we have to have a special filter on our camera, don't we, when we do their
do.
games, so the reflection from his skates?
Van Manen gains the zone. Wade with good defense against him in the near side corner. Gets the puck on the board. Taken by Flounders. Flounders tries a shot. That's blockered away by Higgins onto the far side. And Boyd will give chase for the Reefers. As the Reefers look to get up and out of the zone, it's going to be Stageman gathering in a loose puck. Stageman with his head up, looking for something to happen. Comes to the middle and gains the zone himself. Sends it in on net. Sparks sticks that away into the far side corner. Cleared out by the tall boys. Trey Wade there for the team in white. He battles with Flounders once again. Stageman battles. Gets the puck. Gets it up to Roberto. Defense for the tall boys was changing, or in the middle of a change, and now Nesbitt breaks that up. Looks like Nesbitt was trying to get to the bench there, Pete.
Yeah, it did.
And now he will, and DeHeer will come on. Stageman still with the puck at center ice. Over to Roberto. Roberto trying to hit Harris on the other side. Harris going the other way. He backtracks, gets the puck over to Roberto. The puck comes into the zone. Flounders will chase it down on the near side boards. Sends it up to DeHeer. Too much for him. Puck back to Flounders. Gains the line. Stageman will give chase behind the Reefers net. He looks to get it up and out of the zone. Tried to go up the middle. Flounders was there. Breaks it up. Flounders on the top of the faceoff circle. Sends it in on Higgins, and he'll have to cover up.
There we go.
Again, the cardinal rule of defensemen, do not send that puck up the middle. Stageman did it not once but twice. Flounders almost makes him pay.
Yeah, Flounders with the intercept and gets the shot off through traffic. Fortunately, Higgins was able to see that. Floundy probably didn't get all he wanted on that one, but even at that thing ended up on the paddle of Higgins, and he was able to cover up.
Face off on the left to the left of the Reefer netminder. One back by the Reefers. It's going to be Pfeiffer behind her own net. She sends it around to the far side wall. Casper Bauer will get there before Harris and dump it down low. Tim Young behind his own net. Bounces it off to Harris. Harris chips it up and past Casper Bauer. The two race for the puck. Casper Bauer able to bat that off to the near side. Austin Taylor for the Reefers tries to get there, but DeHeer bats that away. And the veteran defenseman able to be the wiser of the two on the play. Now the tall boys gain the zone, and that's going to be Grant. Centering pass. Conley unable to gather in a loose puck. Now sends it towards the net. Pfeiffer breaks that up. It's loose in the slot, and Higgins will dive and cover up, and we'll get a whistle with 5:30 remaining here in the third period.
There's the Higgy we know and love. That's what he's going to have to do. Anytime that the tall boys get in tight, this is another thing that the tall boys do, and they like to create a lot of traffic and get guys down deep. They will even pinch that defenseman in so he's down around the hash marks, and they create a lot of havoc in front of your goalie.
5:10 remaining. Face off to the left of the goalie, Higgins. Velde's going to come away with the puck for the Reefers. Gets around Zamora. Gets around Nesbitt. Coming in with a 2-on-1, 3-on-1. Shot attempt. That is steered away. Shot loose in front. Comes to Young. His pass attempt goes wide. It was a great pass by Veldy, and Young unable to get Goodwood on it as they had Sparks down.
Yeah, with just under 5 minutes in the game, what a great opportunity to get the lead, but they were not able to convert.
Puck in the neutral zone, taken by Tammy Pfeiffer, and she's going to dump it back into the tall boys zone.
Smartly.
Young will go to the bench for a change. Cleared up and out by the tall boys. It's going to be Thomas. He gains the puck back into the Reefer zone. Pfeiffer over to her defensive partner, Stageman. Puck bouncing, comes up to the blue line. Veldy kicks it ahead, but T-Scott is going to get there first. Taylor breaks up a clearing attempt by T-Scotter. Now Veldy with the puck once again. He battles with T-Scotter. Those two have come together several times. Veldy still with the puck. To the right of the net, takes a shot. It's loose.
Oh, just
Taylor unable to
bounced
get
over Ozzy's stick.
Taylor was there for the rebound, but the puck was bouncing. He couldn't get anything on it as, again, Sparks was down.
We're under 4 minutes. It's going to be all about matchups right now.
Thomas for the tall boys. On the near side, tries to dump it into the zone. Stageman battles with him on that boards. Down to Keller. Or down to Flounders, I beg your pardon. Now it's Zamora. Loose in front. Zamora comes in, shoots and scores! Eric Zamora with 3:34 remaining in the third period has just put the tall boys on top, 3-2.
Eric Zamora is the most opportunistic goal scorer in this league. He stayed in front of the net. The puck just ends up on his stick, and he buries that one.
Great, furious action in this near side, and it was Zamora gathering in the loose puck and putting it past Higgins, who again got a piece of it, but not enough.
Well, now we're going to see what five are they going to put out. There's 3 minutes left in the game. When do you pull Higgins? And quite honestly, the Reefers have not trailed much this period. This is going to be unfamiliar territory for them, having to come back and try and force a shootout.
Puck loose in the neutral zone. They have a man still in the zone. That's going to be offside. Roberto was trying to get out of the zone, but had fallen down. Stageman just in ahead of Roberto, and we get another stoppage. The clock continues to run. It'll continue to run until we do have stop time from 2 minutes on for the whistle. 3-2 the score. The tall boys ahead, broken up and into the tall boys zone by the Reefers, but cleared back up and out by Al DeHeer. Tim Young gathers in a puck in his own zone. Long pass up to Roberto. He can't handle that. DeHeer will dump that back into the Reefer zone. Taken by Young on the near side boards. Gets it up to Roberto. He's bothered by Grant on the near side boards. And that clock keeps ticking. That's all in favor of the tall boys. Now DeHeer clears it diagonally. Nice play out DeHeer once again to send it out of the zone. It's going to be up to Harris. They're going to say that's onside. And Harris, pass attempt broken up. Kasperbauer can't get it up and out of the zone.
And I'm surprised that Higgins has not headed to the bench.
I'm surprised too. It's in the zone. Young with a loose puck. 1:35 remaining. Kasperbauer tries to clear it out. It goes to Van Manen on the far side. Cleared down. In on net. Higgins has to play it. 1:27 remaining. Higgins clears it up to Mertz on the near side. Broken up by Grant. Taken by Roberto.
There goes Higgy to the bench.
Taken by Young. Young with the shot. Sparks with the save, and it was loose. Stoppage in play with 1:13 remaining.
And that's a smart cover-up by Sparks, because that was a very unfavorable matchup right there with Higgins on the bench, and you've got some gunners out there for the Reefers. No offense to anybody, but Dom Papian he's playing right wing. He's a long way from the bench. He's at the end of a shift, and he's gassed. So now you get the bodies out that you want out if you're the tall boys for the last minute 13.
Net empty on the Reefers end. Face off. Won by Mertz. Kept in briefly by Young, but now it's Mertz at the blue line. He sends it towards the net. It's just going to go wide. Pass out. Comes to Mertz. Now to Wade. Wade with a shot attempt. Shot goes just wide of the net. It comes to Young. Young on the face-off circle. Comes in into the slot. Takes a shot. That goes wide after hitting bodies in front. Now to Veldy. Veldy in the near side court, far side corner. Gets it out. It's going to be thrown towards the net. That was Mertz once again. Veldy, far side corner, 40 seconds remaining. Makes a move. Comes around the net. It's loose in front. Cleared up. Not out. It's on the far side corner. Flounders with it. 33 seconds remaining. Clears it around the net. Taylor there for the Reefers to keep it along the boards. Some physical play down in front. It's going to be Stageman keeping it into Veldy. Veldy's shot. That goes wide. Mertz is there on the other side for the rebound. Mertz, shot broken up. Comes to Young. Young's shot. That hits something in front. Young still with the puck. Looking to make a move. He goes behind the net. He has bodies in front. 8 seconds remaining.
He better shoot.
He better do something. It comes to Taylor. Taylor tries the shot. Sparks things on. Hang on. There's the whistle. 1.6 remaining. Holy smokes, what action.
Well, this is the upset of the year right here. And with a 2-0 lead, we were talking about it. A 2-goal lead is hard to protect. Next goal is huge. And we're seeing that pan out, John. 1.6 left.
They're going to have to shoot it right off the face-off here.
Yep.
Puck drops. And they're saying that's it.
What a comeback.
Wow.
We saw a whale of a hockey game.
The Tall Boys are going to move on to the championship game next week, May 14th, and the Reefers, the number 1 seed, are sent packing. Your thoughts? Wow. I'm stunned.
You know, I'm not surprised entirely because they top to bottom, the Tall Boys have the talent to do it. They're a creative team, as I say. They're kind of a bunch of loose cannons. They play their own style of game. They force you to match up and play their game. You kind of have to beat them at their own game. They, don't underestimate them. Whoever they end up with next week, the Slashers or the Smart Aces, they better not underestimate them, especially with Sparksy and net.
We have Matt Whips down on the Tall Boys bench. He has Captain Matt Kasperbauer along for an interview. Matt, it's all yours.
Well, guys, I'm here with Tall Boys captain Matt Kasperbauer. Matt, you guys are the Giant Killers. First the number 4 Squirrels, now the number 1 Reefers. How did you guys do it today?
Well, the boys just came together. We had a good plan in the locker room. And started the first period, we got a little sluggish, gave up a fluke goal. We never lost composure. We stayed with it, and we started clawing back. We had a goal to get within 1 goal, 10 minutes in the second. We get back into it, and we just about feeded that, and we were able to get 3 unanswered. Really, and then Sparksy, I mean, what can you say about that guy? He bailed us out.
You know, Sean gave up that long goal early, and after that, he was very sharp. Talk a little bit about what he did to keep you guys in this.
You know what? He's the best goalie in the league. Every game we need a save, he gets it. He does a really good job talking to the defenseman in front, who to pick up, tells us when to get out of the way, and just really, there's nothing you can say. Best goalie in the league.
All right, Smart Aces and Slashers coming up. Any preference on who you play in the final?
No. We're just glad we're there. I think we're confident that we can play with anybody when we play together, and we'll sit back, have a couple pops, watch that game, and see who we're getting ready for next week.
All right, thanks, Matt. Congratulations.
Thanks,
guys, back to you.
Wow, Pete, we have had quite a matchup just in this first game. The Tall Boys coming out on top.
Yeah, and then we have the Slashers and the Smart Aces coming up, and I think we're going to see an equally entertaining game in that one too, John. That's a couple of teams that are really going to go after each other.
If there's one constant through the years, it is conference championship time for D-League, always with some wild games. Remember a couple years ago it was the Knights and Slashers going to a 6-5 in a shootout. Last year's the Yeti and Squirrels going into overtime shootout. This year the Tall Boys knocking off the number 1 Reefers. I can't wait to see what the next game brings.
Yeah, when it comes to the D-League playoffs, expect the unexpected. I'm going to tell you, anything can happen. And we've seen very competitive games all throughout. How many games have gone to a shootout? What a struggle it is for the Tall Boys to even get to this game. You don't underestimate them. You better respect them, whether you're the Slashers or the Smart Aces going into next week's game. And if Sparks plays like that in net, those ugly jerseys may be hoisting the Commissioner's Cup.
They very well may be. So coming up next, we have Brian Koch and Matt Whips on the call for the Slashers against the Smart Aces right here on D-League Radio and D-League Radio TV. And we are going to wrap this one up. So for Rich Harms down there spinning the knobs in the booth, for Matt Whips with the sideline reporting, this is Pete Van Halen. And we've had JT Nutt on camera for us once again. Thank you so much, kind sir. Anyway, I'm John Reichert. Stay tuned for the next game, Slashes and Smart Aces, right here on D-League Radio.